What is good, YouTube? Welcome to a brand new video I'm making today. Basically, I'm taking a bit of a switch up from making beats into doing beat breakdowns. I'm going to have two new series. I'm going to have beat breakdowns, and I'm also going to do tutorials on how to teach you how to make beats. I'm going to show you the techniques I use. This is a very basic one that I'm using for a college course, all MIDI, all basic Logic instruments, and I'm going to show you how I did it all. But first of all, let me play the beat. Let's get it. Alright, sweet. So that was the beat. It's actually very basic. I made this quite a while ago, but I'm going to break down how I made it. First off, starting with the drums. Alright, cool. So starting with the drums, I just used a kick, hi-hats, clap, snares, and an open cymbal just for a little effect on the side. Every single one of these I did by opening up a software instrument, creating that. I close the library. I go down to instrument just under the MIDI effects, and I go to Ultra Beat. Ultra Beat is what I use to plan all the patterns to this. So if I go to hi-hats first, I open up Ultra Beat. What I do is I go from manual down to drum kits, and you go to drag and drop samples. After you do that, you click sample 25. You go here where it should say import sample, and then you put whatever sample you want to use into Ultra Beat. As you can see here, there's numbers 1 to 32, and that's, you draw them in to what pattern you want. So if I play this for you, this is the pattern I got. I was happy with that. It's a very basic, two-step hi-hat pattern. So I dragged it in using this little pattern thing down there. You just drag it in like that. So after I did that, I opened up the piano roll editor, and as you can hear, if I single these out, there's a little bit of a shake, there's a little bit of a hi-hat trill, it's like a da-da-da-da-da right here. Basically, all I did to do that is I went up to these two tools, I went to my secondary tool, went down to scissors, I held command, and I just cut up some of the notes to make a little trill. What I did with those second ones is I cut them down and then I cut them down again, so they're like quadruplets pretty much. I made that as a basic hi-hat pattern. And that's how I made the hi-hats. Now the same with the rest of them. For the kick, I opened up Ultra Beat, put my sample in, and as you can see here, I only put one in, and I dragged it in straight away after having one in. Now the first thing I did, because I'm really weird with my kicks, I won't just put them in the beat machine. I'll open them up in Piano Roll Editor, and I'll draw them in. So this was the pattern I had. Now as you can see, they're all really low velocities at 76. Now usually because kicks are supposed to punch through, they're supposed to be hard. You usually have them up at a really high velocity, but with these, they're not too hard because this is a kind of a soft song, alright? But what I did do though, just to make it punch through, was I went down here to this little panner, right click, binaural pan. Don't ask me what it is, I don't know, but I did discover that if I drag it down closer, so it hits you closer in the ears, if you're wearing a headset, so they kind of punch through more, so you don't need to turn up the velocity. I still even had to turn them down to like -2. But yeah, with the kicks and the hi-hats together, I just realized I need to do that. I fucked that up. What did I just do? There we go, there we go. But yeah, that is the kicks and the hi-hats. Later on I moved on to a clap. I did the same Ultra Beat thing, yada yada yada. I put one in, and I think if I enlarge this, I just did 2 every few bars. So if I play these together, I just did 2 every few bars. But yeah, it's a very basic thing. After that, I added a couple snares. After the first hook of the song, after the choir, the strings kind of jumped in, I kind of added in snares. Literally, just I did one, I dragged in the pattern, and I drew them in myself, just every few. So this is what they sounded like. Let me get rid of the hi-hat roll editor. I've just realised something as well. What's happened with my kicks? Why have they gone all funky? Oh my god, all of my kicks have gone funky. What has happened? Let me try to fix this real quick. Command Z everything. There we go, I fixed it now. Yeah, no, I thought there was something wrong with the kicks, but yeah, no. Now that's all in time, and I added a open cymbal after the first hook, just to kind of give it a bit more variation effects as well, and I panned it to the right ear slightly just for that attention to detail, as you can hear right here. But yeah, that's basically the drums. There wasn't too much to it, to be honest. There's not too much to this whole song, but now we're going to move over to the more orchestral side of things, like the piano, the strings, the ensemble. But what I did, the whole building block of this was my piano, which I literally opened up a software instrument and clicked Steinway Grand Piano. This is what I came up with. And literally, later on, you can hear strings come in. All I did for the strings was go software instrument, I clicked on Studio Violins 1, and I grabbed the bass notes, which are right here, the kind of bass notes, and I dragged them down to the violin. And what I did is, as you can see, there are like tiny little ones here, like duh, duh, duh. I got rid of all the middle ones, and I just dragged out the main ones that I was going to use. I kind of dragged the first set of notes out until they changed. So instead of there going duh, 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 it goes duh, duh. I forgot I need to turn Ultra Beat off to stop the hi-hats. Fuck off. But yeah, basically what I did afterwards as well, just to kind of layer them, I put the same chords onto the same studio violins, but I put them up a couple octaves higher just to give it a more tragic feel. And then after that I made another software instrument with the classical ensemble with the same bass notes just to make it more layered, more detail, and this is what I came up with. And as you can hear, there's a little gap there just for a little bit of variety, a little skip if you like. And after that, the next thing I came up with was the bass. The bass comes in a lot later just to kind of switch things up. It's like a chirp synth bass. It's another basic software instrument. I used the exact same bass notes as the violins and the ensemble, and this is what it sounded like. And then I layered everything again for the second kind of chorusy bit right here with the classical ensemble and the violins. And after that finishes, I take out the melody, the piano, and I just let the bass and the gentle sine bells, another basic software instrument, just play on their own with the drums, just to kind of give it a bit of a tragic feeling. Again, I only used the same bass notes, it wasn't that deep, and this is what it sounds like. After that, the piano kicks back in, and then it goes around the whole cycle again of having the final chorus. And after the final chorus, I literally string out the violins and the bells on their own. So basically, at the beginning of the track, it goes from like some kind of like fashion-y kind of track you can bop to, like one step bop to. It slowly turns into a more tragic beat and finishes off very tragically with the studio violins and the gentle sine bells fading out at once, which I did with the automation tool right here. And it sounds just like this. But yeah, that was how I made this beat. It's one of the most basic beats I thought I'd start off with for beginners. I didn't really explain how to do much of this in like a lot of detail, but I'm going to do that in my new series. This is the beat construction, but I'm going to be making a beat with you next video and show you the techniques that I use and how you can improve your beat craft as well. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a thumbs up down below. Tell me what kind of content you want to see next as well. I got a lot more beats coming on the way as well, so stay tuned for that. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Let's get it.